Another building firm collapses. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because we're going to talk about yet another building firm that has collapsed. This isn't surprising, but it's still sad. Now, remember a few days ago we looked at warnings that 50% of builders are running at a loss. Now, this is to a range of things. Material costs shooting up, contracts signed a long time ago when costs were different and no provision to increase the cost of materials. Contracts signed a long time ago and delays because of COVID and lockdown and less people on site and your costs remaining the same, and just people running out of money. It's a mess. This really is, and we're going to see more of it. Now, before we go through this article, I want to paint you a scenario of what can happen. But even before we do that, I just want to tell everyone, those of you who've been watching on the community tab, I did take 2 days off because I had a dad moment. We were looking at going fencing. I used to fence back in my 20s when I first started university, and Frederick's all excited about it. So, of course, I thought I'd teach him how to lunge. And let's just say I've officially hit middle age, and I pulled my hamstring. So, but the good thing was, to be quite honest, I could find YouTube videos from physiotherapists explaining exactly how to rehabilitate, take care of it, and treat myself, which I thought was fantastic. So, I'm up and about again. I've, bought a special roller thing and a ball, and I'm doing rehab to get it up and moving. But I made sure I pretty much took 2 days off and did nothing, like nothing. And this, for me, is really hard because I always work. I'm pulling out stumps right now, but, I actually had hired a digger to dig up all the stumps, and I was pulling out some by hand to get a bit of a head start on it. And so I had to postpone the digger. I had to push the screw pile guys back on our house, all because I injured myself like some old dude. And so I'm just sitting there for 2 days doing nothing. I'm not used to it. I can't do it. I felt horrible. So I decided to spend some time on Twitter just to kill the time because I didn't want to walk around. I didn't want to stretch the leg. And wow, there are people who are literally just organic bots. That's all they are. They don't even think for themselves. They're programmed by everything around them. And that's just what they're like. It's crazy. It is just crazy. So anyway, that was my little healing experience. So for all those of you that told me how to heal, thank you very much. It's all doing real well. So before we jump into this article, I want to discuss a scenario with you. So I've got the tablet here. Now, what we want to look at, guys, is say this is you here, and you've engaged a builder to build your house, okay? And it's partially finished. And every month you're sending Mr. Builder money as your house gets a little bit more built, You or the bank is sending the money to Mr. Builder. Now, what you would hope is, Mr. Builder or Miss Builder takes that money and puts it directly into your house so it progressively gets finished. And then, boom, you've got a house, no one's on a current affair, we're all happy. Now, the concerning thing is when this money here starts getting siphoned off onto Mr. Builder or Mrs. Builder's other projects that they have, that they've run out of money on, guys. So they start sending that to this job, that to that job, we're behind on that subby, we've got to pay them. So now the money from your project could be in a bit here, in a bit here, in a bit here. And you're kind of screwed because you don't have a house. You should only really pay for what's being done as it's fixed to the site. There are situations where you pay a bit extra, you pay early for work, but you really should pay once it's on the site because this can wind up in a messy situation where we're seeing people where they don't have houses or half-finished houses. And in a previous video, I made suggestions of ways that you could save money, like by doing the carpet yourself, doing the painting yourself, even doing the plasterboard yourself in some of the rooms. But you can't do that. Banks won't lend you money for owner builders. I'd forgotten, honestly, I'd forgotten. And some viewers corrected me in the comments. Because this is it, the banks don't want any risk. So they want you to go there, they want you to engage a builder, and they don't trust you to be able to do it yourself. And that adds to costs. So you've got these people with these homes where they could probably, honestly, they could get it livable themselves. they could get on the tools, learn how to do some basic jobs themselves just to get it livable, and get a sparky and a plumber in to finish off the real trades. But a lot of the stuff you could do pretty much yourself to get it nice. But this is the situation we're in. So the problem is, to avoid this scenario, guys, you've really got to make sure all the money goes into your building, and that can be a nightmare sometimes. So that's why normally, or traditionally, what you'd have is, hang on, we're not doing the outro. Wait. Great. Traditionally, you would have, what we'll do is we'll do a new thing. Traditionally, you'd have the client here, and you'd have between them the architect or the PM. So all correspondence between the builder and the client goes through the architect. So say the builder has done, say they've done 70% of the build, and they put in a progress claim for 80% because they're trying to front load it. Oh, hang on. The architect can check. You've got it. Traditionally, this doesn't happen anymore for housing. The architect can go on to the site and check and go, no, that's only 70%. And they give a document back to the builder, a certificate, and then the builder takes that certificate and makes a claim to the client. This is really messy, I know, but that's I didn't think about what I'm doing. So you've got an impartial body here in the middle, either an architect or a project manager or even another builder, that is making the calls. Sometimes it can go the other way. The builder can make a claim for only 60%, but you can say, well, no, they've done 70% of work. You've got to pay them more. And that means you can piss off both people. So you can piss off the client and the builder. Yeah, and that's frustrating sometimes. But, that's traditionally how it worked, to try and deal with these issues. So let's have a look here and see how this builder's gone under. So another Australian building company has called in liquidators amid a slew of similar closures sparked by a huge spike in construction costs. Australian building companies continue to fall like dominoes, with the second Perth construction firm going under in a matter of days. Clients of the Perth-based home innovation builders were on Monday facing a nervous wait after the official appointment of liquidators GTS advisory. Documents lodged with the security and investment watchdog ASIC show the application was made on Friday. The same day, another West Australian company, New Sensation Homes, was placed in the hands of WA Insolvency Solutions. The West Australian firms join a growing list of construction companies to bite the dust in recent months, as soaring material and labour costs are exacerbated by COVID-19 delays, eating into builders' profits and leaving them unable to complete their jobs. The money in construction is not as good as some people realise. It is not at all. You may think it's not. They can be so close to the why, you wonder why they do it sometimes. I mean, I saw it architecturally. We were doing jobs for Lorna Jane, and the fees we were getting were hardly anything. We could barely break even on it. And we were similar to other firms, charging similar fees. I didn't know how they could do it. I didn't know. I think that's just for the prestige or to protect the market, I suspect. I've abandoned chasing retail fit-out work. It looks nice, it's pretty, but there's no money in it, guys. Gold Coast firm Condev, Brisbane-based ProBuild, and Hobart's Hontondo Homes are among other companies to collapse in 2022, as thousands of Australians find themselves in limbo and unsure when they'll be able to move into their dream homes. Directors of home innovation builders were yet to comment on Monday, but client Tarana Nowland told the West Australian she suspected the company had been in strife for some time. Yeah, this doesn't happen overnight. Well, no, it happens really slowly and really fast. And it's hard to see the signs. You may think you see signs, but you're not, and that could be leading to... Here's the thing. Say you're the person in the middle, the architect or the PM, and you see signs that the builder is in trouble. So then you tell your client to stop paying, but the builder was fine, but your client stops paying, causes them to be in trouble. It can be a real mess. It really can. You've got to be really careful. Nowlan said she and her husband had no choice but to move into a 108 square metre shed on the site of their incomplete new home in Gabada near Gilderton, north of Perth. The move was originally scheduled to be completed this month after the contract was signed in March last year. The couple told the publication they were hopeful other builders and labourers could complete the project. Shockwaves was sent through the building industry last month when Gold Coast firm Condev went into liquidation. Yeah, we've seen that. Came not long after ProBuild. So this seems to be a running thing. So let's have a bit of a talk about this. What can you do, guys? If you're stuck in this situation, maybe you could do some redesign to your project to reduce costs, if there's a chance of that. A couple of grand spent on revising some documentations and designs could save you significant money. I remember we had one client when I was a student. It was a dentist, and it was coming in too high. So we just shrunk the square meterage of everything, just ever so slightly for the whole plan, and that brought it down because it reduced the cost of a lot of things. There's things like that you could possibly do. But if you're in a half-finished home sitting there, you're in trouble. You got to find someone else to do it, really. It's a mess. Just make sure you don't overpay these builders. You know, pay for only what's been done, everyone. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. If you have been caught like this, if you're in the construction game, what are you seeing? Are there any other builders that are on the fritz? And I feel sorry for the subbies, the tradies that are working on these jobs that are probably paid by the builder. They may have installed stuff on there and not gotten paid. This can be really messy. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to help out, you can support us using our affiliate links. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. Take care, guys. I will see you all in the next episode of HeiseSays, and just keep an eye out for the construction sector. This isn't going to be the last one, guys. This is not.